Hello everybody, welcome to Excel with videos. So today we're going to talk about how to use condition formatting in conjunction with other formulas to detect if. So as you can see here, so we've got an officer at the gate who is registering all the cars or the vehicles that come in. He puts the registration number, the company, time in and time out, and which officer did it. Is he officer 1 or 2? If there is only one officer, it's one officer. So let's say a vehicle comes in. As soon as we input his registration, and if he was banned before, the system should flag it to us. As you can see straight away, as soon as I put a registration, that is already in the banned vehicles. So let's jump in and show you how this has been done. So here we've got a basic table. As I said before, it gets the registration and time in, time out. So first we need to format this table so it is looking good. So first of all, we need to format the row height. So we need to give them a certain height so the data looks good and readable. I know for a fact that there is about, give or take, 180 to 200 vehicles per day, so we're just going to highlight up to, let's say, 300 500 rows, and we're going to say for instance row height here at 24. So that gives us a good row height. Then we're going to adjust the columns so it looks fine and fits the purpose. The time is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Maybe comments just a little bit wider, like that. Now this is the area where we want our message to display, let's say up to here. The next thing we need to do after formatting is we need to turn this range to a table, which I have done already and named it as ANPR table. I have created another table with all the banned registrations in a different file, which is here, and as you can see, it's just basic, the registration number and the reason it was banned, the driver was banned. So let's say not cooperative with the loading bay and security teams, or honking too loud, and we had complaints received from local residents, etc. And again, we created a table and we call this table banned vehicles. So back to our table, which is called ANPR table. So we're going to go to H2 and we're going to compare any registration from this table if it is found in this table here in the banned vehicles. So the way to do that, there is too many ways of doing it. Some do it with countifs. I want to do it with match formula. So I'm just going to put there equal match. And so back to our main table, which is called the ANPR table. So we need to make sure, we need to find out which registration number from this table is found in this table. There are many ways of doing it. You can use countif if you want to. You can use match. I'd like to use match. So I'm just going to type in a match formula. What am I looking for? I'm looking, the lookup value is this one, which is, make sure you select the correct column. So I want to select the registration number, comma. What am I going to look in? I'm going to look in this table in the banned vehicles and see if any of those registration number is in the banned registrations. And then I want the exact match, which is a 0. Then close parentheses and tap in. You're going to see a spill because the table has added another column, so you're just going to do Control Z again, and here we go. So we have only one registration that matches the criteria, which is the SDS, because it is found in the other table. As you can see, so we've got SDS here and we've got SDS in row 8. Now we want to get rid of all these NA not applicable values, so we're just going to put that formula in if error. If error, we want the value, and if there is an error, we want absolutely nothing. So here we go, so we got rid of all the errors, and now we're left with that. Now we found a match. We need to get the reason why this vehicle was banned, and we're going to put it here, and we're going to give it a color. So now after finding the match, we need to get the reason why the vehicle was banned, which is in the banned table, in this table here, in the banned vehicle table. We can use Vlookup on the next row to find basically to find this reason why it was banned. So we're going to come to I2, column I, or row 2, and we're going to say we're going to use Vlookup, but with a condition. We're only going to look for the value if there is a value here, otherwise it's going to return all the reasons for the rest of the ones that are not banned. We just want to return a reason if the vehicle is banned. That means where H17 has a value. And the way to do that is we're going to use the if formula. So we're going to say if H1 is empty, if H2 is empty, if it's empty, then don't return anything. If there is something like this case here where it says number 7, then return the reason it was banned. So we're going to say if H2, we're going to lock the column and free the row. The column, look H2. Where do I need to look H2? I need to look it up in this table here. So we're going to set the VLOOKUP, so we need to indicate which column index. So we're going to index column 2 here, which is this one, and then we're going to say exact match. So we're going to choose 0. So we close the parentheses. We are still in the if function, so if there is nothing, we're going to say return nothing, and we close the parentheses and hit enter. So as you can see, there is nothing there to indicate because the registration wasn't banned. It's not in the banned vehicle table, and we're going to expand this formula for the size of our sheet. We said we get to about 200 vehicles, so we're going to get up to 300. So let's say we take it up to roughly 300 and leave it there. As you can see, this has returned with the abandoned vehicle, but we need to make it look a bit better. So we're going to increase the size of this. Let's say it's visible. Let's say up to 18, and then just leave it as that. Now the next step, we need to do the conditional formatting, so to show this banned reason in different color. So the best we're going to do that, so if we go to I2 all the way, let's say to X2, and then we go to conditional formatting, new rule. I'm going to use formula, and then in that we're just going to say basically I2, but we're going to lock the column and we're going to let the row free, so it comes down to the rest of the registrations. We're just going to say this is different from nil, so that means it's not empty, the cell is not empty. So we're going to choose the formatting, We're going to go to fill. We're going to give it this color. Then we're going to go to border. We're going to give it, let's say, white border, so it differentiates between two of them if there are two vehicles registered as banned. And then with the font, we're just going to say it needs to be in white and ideally in bold, because we already gave it the size of 18 before that. So we're just going to press enter. We're going to press OK. The only thing we missed was we need to say from I2 all the way to let's say X400. So we're just going to go back to it, manage rules. We're just going to say not to X2. We're just going to say maybe 300 and apply, and that should solve the problem. So just to test this if it is working, so let's go to the adjacent one. So let's go to this one and change it to STS, which is, we know that it is in the banned registrations. It shows exactly that it was banned. As we did white band, as you can see, we did a white band here, the white border. So it does separate those entities, basically saying it's completely two different vehicles, and it's not the same message for both. The next step, we need to do some data validation and some text formatting as well, so to prevent the user from entering the registration in different formats. So for instance here, if I have an STS, if I have a registration called STS for instance, and the user puts a space SDS, that's not going to come back with value, although the registration is correct. It is here, but unfortunately there's no result. The reason is because there is a space, and we said in the formulas we need the exact match. So the only way to prevent the user from doing that is to do some data validation. So if we select the table and we go to data validation, and then data validation, we're going to say custom, and then in the formula we're going to say A2 equals substitute A2, and what we're going to substitute, any space in the word and substitute with no space whatsoever. So substitute, it just removes a space or any character from your data and substitute with whatever you want. We're just going to press OK, and we're going to do exactly the same for this one here. For instance, if I put here, let's say FDG space GHG, it's going to say no, the value doesn't match. So we can't really customize this, and we say to the user, do not leave space there. So what we're just going to do there is, let's go back a little bit, and we're going to go to data validation, and we're going to say the error alert, we're going to say delete the space. We're going to say remove the space from the registration. We're going to say remove the space from the reg. I'm just going to click OK. And now let's say we're going to put here FGH space GKL and press enter. Remove the last two sentences. So if we test this now, let's say we're just going to input here DFG space HGK as an example. So that message is going to come up, say remove space from the reg. So let's retry it now, and we're going to remove the space. Let's say DFG HJK, enter, and that should take it. The other thing we need to also implement, we can just highlight the whole column, and we're going to go just to home, and let's expand this a little bit, and we're going to say copper. So we're going to change it to copper Gothic light. So anything you type, whether it's lowercase or uppercase, it's still going to take it as uppercase. So for instance here I'm in lowercase now, I'm just going to type it, it's still going to put it as uppercase. That's a good thing. So everything you type in, regardless whether it's your keyboard is set up at lowercase or uppercase, so your data is going to be input there as uppercase. We're going to do the same thing with the other table. User unifies data as uppercase. So we're just going to go and say home. Yeah, it's already on Gothic Light, and that's it. So anything you type in is just going to put it as Gothic Light. Also, this one we modified the data. So when you put space, it just won't allow it. It's going to say exactly the same message, remove the space. So we're going to remove the space and press enter, and it takes it. It's very simple. The next step, we need to do some formatting where we need to hide the formulas so the user doesn't see it, and we need to lock the sheet so the formulas won't be changed. So if I change this SDS back to where it was, it shows this. I need to hide this H and hide the formulas. And the best way of doing that is if we highlight everything and we press in Control 1, then we're going to go to protection, and then we're going to say not locked completely, like that, and then we do that. So we're going to get all these formulas here, or maybe just let's get I and J, because these two columns have formulas. And we do Control 1. We're going to say lock and hide whatever is in there. So if we go to the sheet, to review tab, and we say protect the sheet, and let's say give it 1 2 3 4, enter, 1 2 3 4, enter. Now the formulas are all hidden and you cannot change them. And the same with H, all the formulas are hidden, so the user cannot change anything. As we don't need to show this column H, we're just going to say, so let's go to review and protect sheet 1 2 3 4, and we're going to say hide this column. We don't need it, so the column is hidden, so you're going to be left with exactly with the data you need. At this stage you can just wrap this up and call it a day, or you can just add a couple of things you need to add. Let's say I want to add, for instance, in I1, because it's not used, I want to say equal, I just want to count how many vehicles I had in, so equal, let's say number of vehicles, and then close parentheses and concatenate that with let's say count A. What are we going to count A? We're going to say, for instance, all the registers basically, and then close the parentheses and close the parentheses again. So we can, we need to adjust that. Maybe we add space there. That gives it, so number of vehicles is 18. We can change how we view this in black, and the font we're just going to leave in white and maybe a little bit bold. It's going to put it right in the middle. and then we're gonna increase the font a little bit, and that's it really. Then you can go back and review, protect your sheet, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and you're done. So that is it basically. You've got your sheet ready, and it will detect any vehicle that is banned. We can give it another trial. So we definitely know the vehicle, let's say 60T7YU is banned. So if we change this to 60T7YU, 60T7YU is banned. Sorry, I put a dot there, don't know why. And then enter is going to give you that it is banned. So it works. So as you add rows to your tables, sorry, I put a space there, it's telling me not to put space, so we're just going to try, and we're going to remove space, GHK. The data will follow, and let's say we put SDS again, we know it is the band registration, it comes up. So it's fully working, you've got all the data is unified in capital and no space, so the user will not enter any anything that will come up with an error. So that's it, my friends. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Many thanks.